Good evening. Happy Sunday. It has been a very long weekend for me, so I apologize. A lot of stuff has gone on, not a lot of stuff relevant to you, but a lot of stuff has gone on nonetheless. In this aquarium, not a lot has changed other than the fact that I don't know if you can see it, but the crebensis have blue fins. I think that is exceptionally cool. I notice also Congo tetras have a lot of blue highlights going on, and that makes me very happy. I've added a couple pieces of not Anacris, Anubias. There we go. This aquarium, I've added this piece right up front, glued to a rock, and that piece in the back, glued to a rock. I have added some, I believe it's dwarf sage back there behind that fake piece of decor. I've replanted things, but other than that, this aquarium is going smoothly. Everybody's happy. I do have some, I don't know if you can see it, beard algae popping up on the gravel. I wish I knew how to stop it. I don't know how to stop it. I do have a couple of Siamese algae eaters in here, which are supposed to eat that. There's two right there, right in the middle of your screen. They don't seem to be eating it, so I guess we'll just hope for the best, I guess. I don't know if you remember, but I spent about, well, you probably don't remember this because I didn't film it, but I spent a couple hours picking out every individual piece of gravel in this aquarium that had beard algae on it to dump it into a solution of peroxide and Chem XL. I don't want to do that again, so hopefully we'll get past that. I love crebensis. Someday, I hope to get one of Ron's albino crebensis. Those are so cool. Speaking of which, Ron, if you're watching this video, you had a yellow and an orange angelfish. And I nominate the names Lamangelo and Orangelo for the two angelfish. Lamangelo and Orangelo. I hope you'll be able to figure out which one should be which. Down here, nothing new is really going on. The Drachenfelsai are still doing very well. There's a Drachenfelsai right there in front of the cave. Well, there's both of them. The silver sailfin mollies seem to be doing a lot better with the onslaught of, I don't know, territoriality of the Drachenfelsai. There are the two golden mollies, golden sailfin mollies in there that seem to be a lot more, I don't know, put off by it. You could probably see them. I can't see what you're looking at, but you could probably see them right about there. Now, I haven't figured out if I'm going to pull them out or not yet. I may pull them out, I may not. We'll figure it out. This aquarium, I did manage to get into it to pull out some string algae, hair algae. I did manage to do a water change. You see these bright green wafers? Those are the ones that Ron recommended. I'm going to take it as a recommendation. The fish seem to be kind of meh about them, but they eat them, so yeah. I mean, they disappear overnight, so that's all you could really ask for. Other than that, not a whole heck of a lot going on. Still can't get into this aquarium, but like just so we're clear, there's my forearm. That's my left forearm, the smaller forearm, and yeah, I don't get in there. This aquarium, I got a Higger, whatever, sponge filter because I could mount it up out of the way. The water quality is fine. Water quality is fine. Some of the plants are starting to pop back. There's a couple of rotala blooms that are coming in. Down here, there's some anubias that's starting to grow back. So we'll get back there. Things will start recovering. That anubias back there, that is just one giant anubias. It's doing fine. This aquarium, I am treating it for ick. Now, do I have ick in here? I don't know. This is the only fish I've seen ick on. I don't know if you can see it, but there's one dot near the back of the tail. You may or may not be able to see it. Don't know. This is a starts with a B. I don't remember the name of it. Basically, they are from Argentina. They do a little bit better in cool water. I've had this particular fish for a long time. I don't know if that spot is ick, but I'm also not going to take any chances. So I'm just treating the whole tank for ick. My understanding is, and you can tell me if I'm dumb and wrong, that if you see any ick, that means there's a whole bunch that you don't see it. Because I guess fish normally get ick in their gills first. And you can't see what's going on in their gills. So, yeah. You don't really know what's going on. So I'm treating it just in case. And just so that we're aware, my lungfish, South American lungfish, has no spots on it. And so, again, common wisdom is that the bottom-dwelling fish will show symptoms, will show ick faster than the more top-dwelling fish. You flirting? Because the ick tends to, there's one stage of ick that resides like in the gravel. Anyway, I don't know if you noticed this, but that red hump geophagus is flirting like a mofo. He flirts with that fish that I'm going to call a sveni. This fish right here, the sveni. But anyway, this red hump geophagus and this sveni were the only two, I'm going to call them survivors, of a 100-gallon tub. And they flirt with each other, and by they flirting with each other, I mean the red hump geophagus flirts with the sveni. Now, the sveni tolerates the red hump geophagus, but it's pretty nonstop. Of course, they're not going to do it now that I'm talking about it. Flirt, flirt, do it. Do your thing. There you go. Look at him get his mouth open and do the shake. Get your mouth open, do the shake. Get your mouth open, do the shake. There you go. There's the flirt. It's always to this one fish, and I assume it's because they were together for maybe a year in that tub. Everything else seems to be doing fine. I don't know if you noticed this, but I did add a bunch of anubias. And I added 5 pieces of Amazon sword. Now, you'll only see 2 in there. You will see, however, 2 hanging out of that and 1 hanging out of that. They got unearthed. And surprisingly enough, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but they crisped up. I came in this morning, well, so they were floating last night, and they were from, was it Top Fin, I think it is, from PetSmart. So they're not adapted to the water, they're the immersed growth, not the immersed growth. So I put them in these holes in the polycarbonate sheets, whatever you want to call them, Lexan maybe. So the tops would be out of the water, but the roots would be submerged. And the leaves just dried up. They're just crispy as all hell. Whatever. So yeah, we're treating for ick that probably isn't in there, but better safe than sorry, because the Braziliensis, I want to call it that. It may or may not be called that, but it may or may not have ick. And I just, better safe than sorry. This tank is doing just fine. The Oscar's doing his thing. The rainbow cichlid's doing his thing. I remembered the other day that I had 2 clown loaches in here. No idea where they went. Literally no idea where they went. You're going to be like, that's a lot of food on the ground there. Yeah, that'll all be gone by morning. Down in here, I don't know if you can see it. You'll probably be able to see a Raphael catfish. Oh, look. Big Fatso came in out my squeaker. But yeah, so there's at least a Raphael catfish in the rock pile. There is probably a couple of clown loaches in there too. And then these 2 polar cichlids have been making that home in there. Other than that, this aquarium doing just fine. The 55 is still doing its thing. I swear that Tidal 110, it blocks up with stuff every day at least, and I have to release it. I would like to say it's doing just fine, but it doesn't really feel like it's doing just fine. I didn't spend long. I spent maybe 10-15 minutes pulling out string, hair algae, whatever you want to call it, out of this area. I probably should pull these rocks out and give them a dip in XL, Seachem XL. But like, I don't want to have to do that all the time. I should be able to plant enough plants that it'll take care of the beard algae. Like, I've got that kind of beard algae, and I've got that kind of beard algae, and I've got the hair algae, string algae, whatever. I mean, I have more algae than I have fish in here. It's very frustrating. Speaking of very frustrating, when I did plant these Amazon swords, I tried to use the Aquarium Co-op root fertilizer tabs. I've used them with other substrates, but never with sand. And that was an exercise in futility. I think I'm going to have to switch to like solid root fertilizer tabs instead of the gel tabs. But yeah, this aquarium, I don't know. I love every single fish in it. I mean, like, how often do you see those kind of Synodontists just chilling in an aquarium? How often do you see those kinds of plecos? Queen Arabella. I want to say Queen Arabella. I could be wrong on that. But how often do you see that? I mean, like, there's so many cool fish in here. And all I want is just for this thing to kind of like come to grips with the algae. That's really all I want. So down here I've added frog bit. I've turned up the light and I've added frog bit. Hopefully the two will kind of counteract. I don't like doing water changes on aquariums that have a bunch of really small fish in it. Every single fish, all 7 of them are visible right now. Anyway, there's babies in there, and I just don't like doing water change when there's babies in there. So I've added a bunch of frog bit to this aquarium, and we'll see how that works out. Just to keep the nitrates in check. I don't feed this aquarium enough for it to really get dirty, and it's way over filtered, the underground filter plate and the giant sponge filter. So I'm not worried about it. And there's like a bazillion snails to eat anything that gets to the bottom. I just, better safe than sorry. Add some floating plants, eat the nitrates, good deal. Everybody's happy. I got all of these swords. They're in my quarantine tank right now from my local fish store. I really like the pineapple swords. I know that's a basic bitch kind of sword. I've got the Berlin swords in my 40, yada yada, blah blah blah. But I really like those pineapple swords. I know that Dan from Dan's Fish has he's selling pairs of albino pineapple swords. Man, if I was just a little bit more confident in my abilities, I'd probably get some. But I'm going to try just some basic bitch kind of swords and see what I could do. Just to make more swords. That's all. Like, I don't want to sell them. I just want to make more swords. I just want to have fun breeding fish. And finally, the big tank. Nothing ever changes in the big tank. The dat's really hungry. I actually saw him, I don't know if it was accidental or on purpose, but he actually ate a pellet today. He does not eat pellet. He'll eat dead fish and dead shrimp that are frozen, but he won't eat pellets. I did actually see him suck a pellet into his mouth. So that's pretty cool. He's the biggest reason why I feed frozen food to this aquarium. I mean, I would still do it if it wasn't for him. I'd just probably do it a little bit less often. I try to do it about twice a week for him. Because I'll be honest with you, I bought 5 datinoids, 5 varying datinoids. I'd love to have like one datinoid of each kind of subspecies, and this guy's the only one who really thrived. And so I'd love to keep him alive, love to keep him healthy, and I'm not going to push my luck. So if he needs frozen smelt and frozen shrimp to thrive and be happy, well, by gosh and by golly, he'll get frozen shrimp and frozen smelt. Like it's like $10 a pound or something like that for frozen smelt, and I'll buy it. It's about $10 or $12 a pound for frozen shrimp. I'll buy it. This dude right here is gonna live. That's all I'm saying. He's gonna live. I spent a lot of money and a lot of time trying to keep this dude alive. And I think he's really freaking cool, and he's going to live. Well, that being said, pretty much everything in here I really like. and I really want to survive. But this guy especially, he's so cool. He comes up every time I'm ready to feed. Boy, he comes up right there. He's ready. He's looking. He's like, "What you got, dude? What you got? You got some of my smelt?" And I don't know. He just seems smart, like a cichlid almost. I'm wasting time. Anyway, so what I did this weekend was, besides water changes, is I put in a bunch of rocks into the 300-gallon aquarium. I put in a bunch of Anubias into the big aquarium. I put some Amazon swords into the big aquarium. I got in a bunch of totes, in theory, to sort all of my fish stuff and whatnot. I don't know if I'm going to get to that anytime soon. That's pretty low on the list. Like, I can do a lot of stuff in the fish room involving the fish and just have a heck of a good time doing it, enjoy myself. Just enjoy myself. I hope this is a male and gets that really ridiculous, stupid nuchal hump. Anyway, but going and cleaning up that back room, just not a lot of interest in that. Damn, you're looking good, son. Damn. So I did the stuff and the whatnot in here. I added the one filter there. I put in a couple more plants into here. And I think that is really it as far as, well, obviously I have fishing quarantine. But I think that's really it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great evening and a great weekend and a great week, and keep lots of fish and get your hands wet and all the other catchphrases.